Hello? I think that many Americans are once stupid or they are really bad on geography, because I have had this question going around where I am, where I come from, and I say Norway. Oh yeah, the capital of Sweden. And no, Norway is not the capital of Sweden. But I don't know where they got that from. Because Norway is a country which is in the northern. And yeah, northern is like the same thing as Balticum or Britain. Yeah, we can put it the same way. But this video is not about that. This video is going to be about a guy from Malaysia, which sent me this question, can you teach us the Nordic language? And I'm like, what? The Nordic language? I mean, the Nordic language, well, Northern have several languages in it. So, now, I'm not going to teach you all of the languages, but in this video I will tell you about them, all of them. Well, I start with the oldest one I know about. It's Icelandic, or Icelandic. I don't know how to spell it. I think it is. Or Old Norwegian, as it's also called, because the people from Norway, which come on the boats, the Vikings, they talk with them everything, especially the language. And it has been keeping alive over there. It's still a bit different from how the old Norwegian were, but now it's a bit different, but it's the most like languages. No, the most like language you can find. And I don't speak this language. I can read and I'll understand most of it, but it sounds so totally different from how it's written, so it's difficult. I think I will be able to learn it quickly if I will try, but I don't have any reason to speak Icelandic in any way that I know about, however. But that language comes from Norway. Today, Norwegian is different, yes, because we were under Denmark for 300 years, so we have like the Danish version of Norwegian. So it's not the same language, but it's different, because Norway has 3 languages in the country, and Norwegian is one of them, but we also have New Norwegian, which is really like, and it's like a dialect, because Norway have several dialects, which I tell you after I tell you this, that I can read and I can speak New Norwegian, but writing it would be difficult. There aren't many who speak New Norwegian, most have dialects from it. And the reason why there's so many dialects in Norway is because there are a whole lot of mountains. You have villages on the other side of the mountains. There's not many in the mountains, but they separate a whole lot of places. Most of the world did go to speak the primary language, so they did go away from the dialect. But Norway was under Denmark under that time, so we didn't change our language. We tried to keep the language we had, and that's why we didn't. That's why we don't speak Danish today. And Norwegian is, well, I speak Norwegian fluently because I am Norwegian. I have dyslexia, so it took me a long time to be able to write it, but writing English is going faster. Yeah, I don't know why, but still. And we have another language that I'm going to talk about at last. And Danish, yeah, that's where Norwegian comes from. Denmark have had this language for, I don't know how long they had it, but it's been a long time. And I speak this language. They have a different tone in within the language, and the tone is like, they speak like this because they have a hot potato, and that's why that's why a lot of Norwegian people don't understand it, because it sounds weird, but I'm able to, and that's the. It's not that the best thing to learn that language, but yeah. And another language that's also really like those two, well, more like the Norwegian, is Swedish. Swedish is really like Norwegian. Swedish is more popular because everyone goes to Sweden when they are visiting Northern. I mean, Gakt did go over there. Metallica have been visiting Sweden more than Norway. For example, that was just a few examples I knew about, but still, it's not the best. It's not the well. If you ask me, my opinion, Swedish is the most beautiful language we have in Northern. It's just so amazing how it's spelled, and no one was under Sweden for not more. I don't think we were under Sweden for 100 years. It's under that. We were under Denmark, and then we were under Sweden right after, but it didn't have had any influence on the language. Only a few dialects, and Swedish has also been going on for a whole long time. It have Norwegian, Swedish, Danish, and Icelandic have the. They are all in the German language group. So that's kind of, well, it's kind of weird that I put, well, not weird, it's the obvious way basically what I'm talking about. But there's one other language in Sweden which I don't know the name of. There are some people speak it. I think it's an official language, but I don't know. There are a lot of people there who doesn't speak Swedish until they go going to school or something. Yeah. And another language which is Finnish. Yeah. Well, Finnish is a different language because it is not under that language group. Finnish is under the Finnish language group, which is kind of different. A whole lot, and they also speak Swedish in Finland, depends on what part you are in. If you go to Finland and you try to speak Swedish, perhaps they won't understand you. I think most of the people do speak Finnish, but I have two languages in that country, or basically three. And I'm going to tell you now, because Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Russia, well, Russia is not in Northern, by the way, also have the Sami people. They speak Sapmian, which is, well, it's like the North Indians, we can call them. A whole lot of people who live north do not like them. I don't have anything against them, by the way, but they have another language, which is also in the Finnish language group. Because it's just those two in that language group, and it's a totally different language from what I'm used to. I can hear that Finnish and Sapmian is pretty like each other, but they aren't the same. Like. We have like New Norwegian, which I won't call a language, but I will call it a dialect, because that's what it is, even though it's written different. And Sapmian is something completely different. You can't find it at Google Translate. Not even one of the B languages, which is here. So that's kind of strange that I didn't put in like languages like that, like Sapmian or New Norwegian, but still you have them all there. You have a whole lot of languages, which is crossing like 5 countries. The 5 countries with more languages. So if you want me to teach you all of them, that would be a sick difficult way for me to go, because then I need to study like, well, the official languages. I will be studying 3 languages more myself before I could teach them. And even though Norwegian and Danish is difficult languages to use, so no, I will not teach you the Nordic language. That was my point here, and see you perhaps in the future.